Having then looked at the motivations for the British Empire, why and how Britain tried to achieve it, and what the British Empire was and the scale of the British Empire, with a specific focus and the case study of slavery, we can now start to move towards some kind of interpretive conclusion. Was the empire good or bad? There isn't an answer to this question, but there is the ability to express an interpretation. So knowledge retrieval, which is the odd one out. The format is on each of the line, one of them doesn't work. Explain that reason. Right, task 1. Read each of the statements and color code whether or not it's identifying if the example is good or bad as a consequence of the British Empire. Now, in doing this, we are massively adding to the volume of knowledge that the students are taking on board. So there's everything that we've been taught up until now, but then we have all of these examples. Broad breadth here. Cultural impact, the law of Britain being exported, infrastructure, the role of religion, improvements in education and agriculture, the way in British dealt with rebellions against their rules. All of these examples. Learning checkpoint, good or bad. So we've got some examples here that we can pull together to get people thinking about it. But it's not enough just to come up with simply good or bad. Try and visualize the idea of a line. Where would these examples go on a line that ranged from good to bad? And then interpret where you've placed everything. Task 2. Read sources A through to D. Read each of the sources below and highlight the key facts. Are they giving an example of it being good or bad? Again, the stretch when we deal with any sources is to explain the nature, origin and purpose of each of the sources, and then consequently think about how that affects its content. Source A with the provenance here at the bottom. Source B, provenance, C and D. Task 3. Watch the clip on the British Empire in colour. The link here, 3936. This is the legacy of the British Empire. Make notes of both the good and the bad features. So our final source here is a very modern interpretation of the British Empire to again expand the student's knowledge base. Finally, should Britain apologise for its empire? How far do you agree? We'll pull this together with an assessment